We're back, still with Dr. Hendrickson of Chiropractic Solutions. And Dr. Hendrickson, in the first segment, we learned a little bit about fibromyalgia and a little bit about the treatment thereof. So let's go ahead and finish up on what the treatment plan would be.
Sure. Okay, well, when someone comes into the office and I accept them as a patient, then we put them on a very specific protocol. First thing that we do is we work with them in a chiropractic sense, and we adjust their spine, remove any nerve interference, and we also work with their muscles because they're very tender, they have a lot of stress, and we ease some of their muscle pain away. And they feel somewhat a little bit better after the first treatment usually. And then after we get them out of that pain state and they can deal with a little bit more, then we put them on a 3-step biodetoxification process.
Okay.
I know that's a pretty big word. Right.
It's getting good.
But basically what we do is we give them things to clear them out from the inside. Like I said earlier, a lot of these patients have a lot of digestive problems and stuff. If your digestion's not working, then your body's not getting the nutrients it needs, so it's not processing things properly. And what we do is we clean everything out from the inside out. And believe it or not, I went through the process myself. I felt phenomenal afterward. It made a big difference to me. And I didn't really have any problems either. So I put my husband through it, and he did really well. And so it works even for people without fibromyalgia. So
now you had a family member that had it.
That has fibromyalgia, yes. Actually, my mom has fibromyalgia, and she suffered with it for a very, very long time, and she still does. She's just had one stressful situation after another, and we're hoping to be able to work with her. And, she lives in New Jersey, so she's too far away for me to see in my office on a regular treatment program or anything. And because she's so far away and I want to be able to help my mom, I actually am in the process of designing a remote fibromyalgia program where I can help people far away through telephone and through the internet, and they can get the same relief as someone who is actually coming into my office.
You mentioned stress a couple of different times. So what might be some of the events that take place in people's lives to bring this on to them?
And is stress the biggest factor in it that brings this on, stress?
In my opinion, yes. Because every single fibromyalgia patient that I have ever worked with, there's been like a precipitating factor, something that happened where within 1 to 2 years later, that's when their symptoms started. So the stress can be in 3 different forms. It could be chemical, it could be physical, or it can be emotional. Now chemical, for instance, if you get bitten by a spider or something and you're on heavy doses of antibiotics, you're going to wipe out everything that's in your digestive system that's helping you process the food, and your body's just going to start to wear down. And within 1 to 2 years, you can start getting the achiness, the tender points, the headaches, the dizziness, the fibrofog, and all that stuff. Physical, it could be as simple as a car accident or a fall down the stairs, even just a little tumble down the stairs, and you think you're okay, and you just continue on. And emotional can be, death of a loved one, or a divorce, or something else that can really emotionally affect you. And basically with fibromyalgia patients, I found that they're very, very hard workers. And they go through a stressful event like this, and they remain hard workers. But unfortunately, they don't give their body the time to heal. So they go through this thing in their life, and they say, you know what, I'm not going to let it affect me. I'm just going to keep moving on. And they just keep going. And, like in a case of a divorce, the woman might want to lose her house, so she just keeps working and doesn't have time to grieve and realize what's going on in her life. And within 1 to 2 years, these symptoms start developing. Now, because it's, go ahead,
I was just going to ask, of the 3, you said chemical, physical, and emotional, can you give us the percentage breakdown that they fall under of someone that has this?
No, they haven't done studies to that, no. But, when it happens to you, it doesn't really matter the percentage breakdown because it's just so debilitating. These people, I have one patient and he was like, my wife thanks you every single day because she has her husband back now. And, he was just doing horrible. And then, going through different doctors and trying to find out things that helped. And he came into the office and he started the program. And he's so thankful. He's able to play with his kids and have a great time now.
You mentioned debilitating. I mean, people should know that this could completely wipe somebody out.
It sure can. It sure can. Over time, people, if they don't get the right help, they're just going to get worse and worse. And their body is essentially telling them, look, we can't change the clock to go back to when this event happened, to where you can rest or get through it the way that you're supposed to. But what we can do is start now and get you to a state where you can start to heal. and their body is giving them all these signals: slow down, relax, let's do the right things. For instance, like when my mom has it and she's like really struck with it bad one weekend, I'll call my dad on a Saturday night to talk to my mom, and he'll say, oh, your mom's been in bed since last night. She woke up with me a few hours ago to have some food and she went right back to bed.
Oh, wow.
So it really knocks her out for the whole entire weekend. And most people don't understand that that's real. Like my mom, she really can't get out of bed to watch TV or go to the store or anything. I mean, she wakes up and she's like just so exhausted and so heavy, and her sleep just doesn't restore her like you and I would go to bed at night and we would wake up and we would feel refreshed and ready to move on with the day. But these people, they can lose their jobs, they apply for disability, and because it's not a solid something that is diagnostic, they get caught up in all this stuff.
On the depression issue, and we were kind of talking off camera, it might be common for an individual to be diagnosed with depression and therefore treated with a medication like Prozac or something to that effect. Does that help?
Well, it depends on the individual and what their medical doctor sees.
So they'll be treated for the depression, but they still feel the pain in the joints.
Of course.
So that's where the fibromyalgia comes in with that.
Right, and people will come into my office with lists of like 25 drugs that they're taking. So it's just amazing what they try to do to overcome all of this and keep living, because nobody wants to lay in bed 23 hours a day.
Right.
You know.
So it is definitely a process. And when we come back, we're going to talk a little bit more about the process, so stay tuned. Okay, and welcome back, and we're here to talk about the ending to fibromyalgia. There is an end to the treatment.
There is. After somebody goes through my program, which is generally 4 to 5 months, then, you know, my goal is to get them out of pain, to get them the tools that they need so they can take control of their health. It's not about coming back to see me forever. It's about empowering them so they could go home and they can live a normal life. If their symptoms kind of flare up, they will know exactly what to do to put an end to them, and then they can start living normally again. We've done that for so many people also. And if you would like to have more information on fibromyalgia, or if you're interested in scheduling an appointment at this time, you can feel free to call my office at 770-507-8106.
All right. Well, we learned a lot about fibromyalgia, and you also do chiropractic.
Yes. Yes, we also take care of patients with headaches that are dealing with stressful issues, with low back pain and car accidents, and we get good results with those as well.
Okay, and our office is right there in Stockbridge, so the number is on the screen. Give her a call if you're experiencing any of this or just need a good chiropractor. And we hope you enjoyed this show, and we'll see you next week. Bye, everybody.